Picture amazing graphics and awesome intro music. Dun 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 dun. Hey, welcome back to Play with Fire. This is Toran again for part 2 of my video series Freestone, where we're trying to become competitive in Hearthstone without spending any money, playing on a entirely new account, and right now we're working our way to rank 10 with the mage so that we can start using the basic cards we've unlocked to build a new deck. Now, like I said in my previous video, this is not really about teaching you how to play the game, but more so just learning how to make the most out of playing for free, be efficient with your time. If you want to find out more about, the strategy involved in the game, how to maybe read opponents, playing on mana curve, all that good stuff, there's some great videos out there that can do a lot better job explaining than I can. So I'll put the link in the description below to Trump. He's a really great Hearthstone streamer, and he's got a great video series teaching you how to play the game. Alright, so we're just finishing up our last match here to try and get to rank 10. It's been an okay time going from 1 to 10. There's not a whole lot you can do against what I'm fighting right now, but you're not going to win every match. Sometimes you get bad draws. It's just the way she goes. But we've done the best we could with the cards we were given, and now we're going to be able to make our own deck. Alright, now that we've got to rank 10 on our mage, we can start working on our new mage deck, which is going to use some of the basic cards that we picked up while leveling it to 10, and just making a better deck. We get to play around with it a little bit more. It's got some stronger board clears, it's got some better minions, it's just all around a better deck. It's going to use a lot of what we used in the first place, but it's going to be a bit stronger. So here you can see I've already gone ahead and made my new deck. To make a deck, all you do is go to new deck, pick your class, and then start picking cards and dragging them over into this section. So you can use a combination of mage cards and neutral cards. We have a decent split of both, but I personally used a site, hearthstone.metabomb.net, and followed a guide that I'll put in the description. Now, they have good starter decks that use entirely basic cards, so cards that don't come out of packs, cards that you've just unlocked by leveling up a class to 10. And so you can kind of use these guides and deck builds to help you get a jump start on building your deck and starting to win some matches. Alright, so here we are with our new deck. It's going pretty well so far. Beating this paladin pretty bad, and what we're going to work towards next is getting to rank 20, because at rank 20 you can start playing Tavern Brawl. And so Tavern Brawl is a free game mode with random rules each week. You get a free pack of cards for your first win of the week, which is nice as a free-to-play player. And you often get to play with pre-built decks, so that kind of levels out the playing field. The other nice part of that is that you can get your dailies done, so if you have a quest to win 5 games as a paladin and your paladin deck sucks, then if you get a pre-built deck, you might do a lot better than if you're going at it with your normal paladin deck. Sometimes you will have to craft your own deck, which might be a little difficult for a new player, but there's lots of guides out there on Reddit, on Hearthstone, that update each week, and you can kind of figure out how to build a really good Tavern Brawl deck. But before we get to rank 20, you're probably going to get some gold, and you're probably going to be able to afford enough for some cards. So you might be wondering, out of all these expansions and adventures and stuff, where should you spend your gold? Well, to understand that, first we need to kind of take a look at the two different game modes. So there's standard mode, which Lets you use your basic cards, your classic cards, and cards that have come out in the last 2 years. And there's also wild mode, which lets you use all cards. So as time goes on in Hearthstone, certain expansions and adventures kind of get retired and can only be used in wild mode. It's kind of an effort to make the game seem less daunting for a new player, because right now there's 4 expansions and 4 adventures out. So having to buy packs and buy adventures and earn all those cards for all those expansions and adventures is just really a lot to take in if you are just starting today, or even if you've been playing for a couple months. So as a free-to-play player, I definitely recommend sticking with Standard. It's going to give you more focused sets of cards to work towards, and you're going to be able to catch up a bit faster than if you're trying to craft all the good cards from every expansion ever released. So that being said, classic cards are a great choice because classic cards will never go out of rotation. They're the cards that were in the game when it first launched, and they are still used in Standard. So you can never really go wrong with them. Virtually all competitive decks use some classic cards, while not all decks use cards from other sets. So while there's some great cards in the Grand Tournament set, it's kind of set to retire early next year, so if you're opening those packs and getting those cards, and then those go to Wild, it's not great for you. Whereas if you're crafting classic cards, those cards are still going to be relevant well into the future. So if you want to build specific decks that use cards from other expansions, you have the option to craft certain cards. We're going to be covering crafting in the next video more in depth, but that's usually the best option. So that's going to do it this time for Freestone. Next time we're going to be covering crafting a bit more in depth, and what dust is, how to craft cards, how to disenchant cards, all that good stuff. So thanks for watching this time, and hope to see you in the next video. Awesome outro music. Like, comment, subscribe.